There is something sacred about nighttime as you grow older, a kind of silence that stretches longer, a kind of stillness that invites more reflection than ever before. And yet, for many seniors, this silence doesn't bring peace but restlessness, not because the world is too loud, but because the mind becomes its own echo chamber after the sun sets. And in that space, many unknowingly develop quiet habits that steal their comfort, their calm, and the gift of restful nights. You don't even realize it at first. It starts subtly, an extra hour awake thinking about yesterday's conversations, the weight of unspoken words, the lingering ache of years that passed too quickly, and slowly, these thoughts become a nightly ritual that robs you of serenity. The first mistake is replaying regrets in the dark. So many seniors fall into this without realizing. Lying in bed and walking mentally through every room of the past, what you should have said, what you could have done differently, who you should have held on to, who you should have forgiven, what path you should have taken. But the past, no matter how long you dwell in it, will never change by being revisited. It only changes when you choose to see it with kinder eyes. Night is not the time for judgment. It's the time for letting go. If you must think of the past, let it be a warm glance, not a trial. Because the more nights you spend reliving old pain, the more your present becomes haunted by things that can't be undone. You deserve rest. You deserve softness. You deserve to say to yourself, I did the best I could with who I was at the time, and let that be enough. The second mistake is letting loneliness fill the room like smoke. It's easy when you're older to believe you are alone in the world, especially in the quiet of evening when no one is calling, when the house feels larger than your presence, when the memories are louder than the television. But you must remember, solitude is not the same as emptiness. Being alone is not the same as being forgotten. The night is a space to reconnect with yourself, to return to the parts of you that got buried under years of service, sacrifice, and distraction. Loneliness only grows when you forget who you are. But you are still you, still full of stories, still full of dreams, still worthy of joy. Even now, especially now. The third hidden habit that steals peace is overstimulation. Not from the world, but from your own mind. Seniors often take their day's quietness and stuff their nights with noise. Television left on too long, news consumed too late, worry scrolling through their imagination, waiting for disasters that never come. But peace doesn't live in screens or speculation. Peace lives in the small rituals of calm you create for yourself. Maybe it's a soft light, a single page of an old book, a cup of tea, a prayer whispered into the darkness. These things seem small, but they remind your spirit that it is safe, that it is home, that it is allowed to let go. You must be gentle with your mind at night. You've carried enough in the daylight. Let the night be a release, not another battlefield. The fourth mistake is silence with the wrong tone. Not the peaceful kind of silence, but the cold, heavy kind. The one where you stop speaking even to yourself. Where you stop journaling, stop talking to the walls, stop singing softly while you fold your clothes. Silence, when it's empty, breeds sorrow. But when it's intentional, it becomes sacred. Start speaking kindly again, to yourself. Say your name out loud and follow it with a blessing. Speak to your lost loved ones as if they are listening. Say thank you before bed. These aren't superstitions. These are sacred rituals of peace. The fifth and most common mistake is believing that the day is over once the lights go out. The truth is, the most powerful part of your life happens in these quiet hours when no one is watching. This is when you rewire your soul, when you remind yourself that even if your schedule is empty, your life is not. That even if the world forgets to call, you are still a universe of memory and meaning. That even if your body slows, your spirit can still rise. Take back your nights. They are not leftovers. They are the embers of your becoming. Treat them like the treasure they are. Because when you begin to treat your evenings as sacred instead of silent punishments, something profound begins to shift inside you. You no longer see nightfall as a signal of your isolation, but as an invitation into something deeper, quieter, and strangely more alive. The truth is, you are not meant to simply end your day, you are meant to close it gently, the way a wise elder closes an old book, not with regret, but with reverence. And yet, so many of us, especially in the later seasons of life, don't realize how easily we slip into patterns that rob us of that reverence. We scroll through our thoughts like strangers flipping channels, never landing, never resting, just wandering. But your spirit is not a television program. It is a living, breathing story, and it deserves your full presence before sleep. One of the most common habits that dull the peace of seniors is believing that nothing important happens after dark. But oh, how wrong that is. Nighttime is when the world finally stops shouting so you can hear yourself. And sometimes what you hear is painful, the ache of what you miss, the names of those who've gone, the dreams that didn't come true, but sometimes what you hear is exactly what saves you, Your own voice, gentle and still strong, reminding you that you've made it through everything so far and you're still here. Still worthy. Still capable of joy. There's an invisible beauty in being older and reclaiming your nights. Not for noise, not for distraction, but for healing. For all the years you gave yourself to others, these hours belong to you now. They are your time to speak to yourself as you would to a child. Softly, kindly, encouragingly. They are your time to say things like, "You did well today, I'm proud of who you've become, you are allowed to rest now." And though it may feel strange at first, this kind of talk is not indulgent. It is necessary. Because for decades, you may have only spoken to yourself in the language of urgency and duty. But in this season of life, you are called to a different kind of language, one rooted in grace, in gentleness, in surrender. You must unlearn the harshness and remember the softness. That's where the peace lives now, in softness, in rhythm, in trust. And trust is hard. Especially when you've seen so much go wrong. When you've lost people. When you've buried chapters. When you've watched time do its slow and silent work. But if you can trust anything, trust this. Your soul knows how to rest. It only needs permission. So give yourself that permission. Not once, not twice, but every single night. Make your room your temple. Make your bed your boat. Let the night carry you, not drown you. And if you cry, let it be a release, not a punishment. If you remember someone you miss, let that memory be a blessing, not a wound. If your heart aches, place your hand over it and say, "I'm still here. I've still got me." Because you do. You still have you. That matters more than most people realize. Seniors who learn to keep themselves company at night are not lonely, they are free. Free from needing the world to always show up. Free from waiting on a call to feel seen. Free from the old lies that said worth ends with work or youth. No, it doesn't. Worth is eternal. It grows with time. It deepens with presence. And it glows brightest when the world is quiet. So let your nights be lit not just with lamps but with peace. With gratitude. With small rituals that tell your soul, you are home. And maybe that's the secret younger people don't understand yet, that at this stage in life, peace is the goal. Not busyness. Not applause. Not noise. Just peace. And you get to create it every single night. One breath. One thought. One loving whisper at a time. And when you finally learn to sit with yourself at night without judgment, without fear, without the weight of comparison or the noise of the world's expectations, something remarkable happens. You remember who you are without all the roles, the titles, the demands, and you discover the quiet magnificence of simply being. Because that's what nighttime is meant for in this stage of life. Not to keep you tossing and turning through memories you can't undo, but to cradle you in a deeper kind of truth, one that tells you it's okay to stop rushing, it's okay to stop proving, it's okay to simply exist. And in that simplicity you find beauty again. You find it in the shape of your reflection, softer now but filled with depth. You find it in the way the night wind presses gently against the window pane, like a long-lost friend who knows how to sit beside you without asking anything. You find it in the way you begin to light a candle not to chase away the dark, but to honor it. And as this new peace begins to root itself within you, you notice the way your thoughts shift, from "what did I miss?" to "what did I learn?" From "who still needs me?" to "what can I give to myself?" From "why does no one visit?" to "how can I enjoy my own company tonight?" And this shift is not just emotional, it's spiritual. You begin to understand that the quieter your surroundings become, the louder your soul speaks. That the stillness of night is not a void, it's a sanctuary. It's where your memories stop being burdens and start becoming blessings. It's where you begin to speak with those who've gone before you, not in grief but in gratitude. It's where your heart, no longer cluttered by expectations, begins to hum with its own quiet joy again. And joy in old age is different from the joy of youth. It's not loud or explosive, it's a soft, enduring warmth that lives in the spaces between breaths, in the dignity of a life well lived, in the comfort of knowing that even if the world has moved on, your story is still unfolding. And maybe that's the greatest gift of all. The realization that even after all these years, you still have the power to shape your nights, to choose your mindset, to rewrite the ending of your day in a way that feels healing instead of heavy. You no longer have to carry the world on your shoulders. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to weep. You are allowed to feel proud. You are allowed to ask nothing of yourself except to breathe and be. And yes, some nights will still be hard. Some memories will still sting. Some silences will still feel too long. But even on those nights, you will know how to sit in the dark and not be afraid. You'll know how to talk to yourself like a friend. You'll know how to choose peace over punishment, calm over chaos, faith over fear. And in doing so, you'll reclaim something the world never taught you to protect. Your inner sanctuary. your evening soul, your twilight wisdom. And it is this wisdom, born not from books but from endurance, from loss, from joy, from simply staying alive long enough to know what matters, that will carry you through every night that remains. So take back your evenings, one breath at a time. Make them your cathedral, your poetry, your healing place. You've earned it. You've survived more than most people know. And now it's time not to chase anything, but to cherish everything. The quiet, the memories, the presence, the you that you've become. Let your nights be your reward, not your restlessness. Let them be filled with grace, not guilt. With wonder, not worry. And most of all, let them be filled with love. Love for the journey, love for the lessons, and love at last for yourself.